Well, we're here right now with Anthony Zuiker, who's the author of Level 26, Dark Origins. This book is causing quite a sensation already. We're at Book Expo America in New York. A lot of talk about this book. Welcome to our little world at Borders.
It's a brave new world here.
Yeah. So this book is more than just a book. There is a book involved. It is a definite cool book. There's a lot of story in here. We're going to talk about it. But there's pieces to this too. There's an online component. There's a video component. And then there's the actual written word too. You are an innovative guy. You've come up with a whole new way to do books.
Okay.
How did the idea first come to you, and where did it come from?
Well, it pretty much happened during the writer's strike, ironically. We all had a chance to sit down and think, what would be the next cool thing we can do that we really can converge different mediums. So by taking the publishing industry, motion picture, and the website industry and kind of combine them as a three-headed monster, so to speak, was the digital novel was formed, or the Digi-Novel. And basically what it is, it's a horror crime novel. For every 20 pages that you read, you log into a website, level26.com, and then when you unlock a piece of motion picture footage, which bridges you from one chapter to another of high quality footage with all these A-list actors. Now you can certainly read the book from cover to cover and not be lost. If you want the more in-depth experience, you log in.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a horror scene, sometimes it's a love scene, a music video, and sometimes you enter your phone number and the killer will call you back.
Yeah. You're the creator of CSI and the various CSI spin-offs. A huge world, which must have kept you incredibly busy while you were working on this.
A little bit.
But we're talking about very high-level production quality, obviously. We should explain the title,
Sure.
Level 26. There are 25 levels of serial killers. Squeagle, your main character, is at level 26. It's like this one goes to 11, or in this case, 26.
Right.
This guy, you said, has been in your head for 8 years, and you've been looking for an outlet for him. Was it always going to be in a book in your mind, or what were you thinking?
No, I thought it might be a movie. But level 26, unlocking a new level of fear, meaning one person on the list being Squeagle. I always wanted to do a villain that was forensic proof.
Right.
That wore a murder suit, that you couldn't have it shed in the evidence as he walks around. The real actor inside the suit is the world's most flexible man in the Guinness Book of World Records. He's a contortionist.
Wow.
So the things he does physically in the bridges are mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And it's pretty creepy. And I think everybody's scared of somebody under your bed, and that's where he kind of lives most of the time.
Some of the pictures in here that I've seen of the cyber bridges are cool. Let's explain those. So as you're reading the book, you'll come across a chapter.
Like on page 24 is a classic example where it'll say, you'll be reading the book, you'll be talking about my villain dressing up in his forensic suit. He'll go and unlock, he'll have a 8mm canister of a snuff film. He'll pop it in, it'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reading will stop. If you want to watch the snuff film, you log into level26.com, watch about 3 minutes of a snuff film. And of course, it's rated PG-13, hard R.
But the actors that you got for the cyber bridges, these are all well-known actors with some serious creds.
Yeah, they are.
How'd you get them, and how did you talk them into doing something as different as this?
Well, either they're friends or they know me from the business. Michael Ironside and myself just finished Terminator Salvation together. I was the writer on that picture, and he was, Ashdown. Bill Duke was a friend from CSI. Glenn Morshower from 24 in Transformers 2. They all did me favors, came on, worked for little or no money, because they love the new concept. And this also book live on the iPhone application in the future, Apple and iTunes. So there's many ways to consume this new converging element of the Digi-Novel.
Yeah, and I'm sure actors like new opportunities and new gigs.
Absolutely.
Is this something that they can get on their IMDb pages? I mean, when you look at their
I'm sure they will,
movies,
for sure.
It's going to be their Digi-Novel appearance and
I mean, we shot for 10 days. Old production is about $200,000 just for the shoot, and the editors and the scoring and the mixing. It's a full production.
Yeah.
So everybody who buys the Digi-Novel should feel comfortable that there's a motion picture inside the book. And then when the book is over with, the experience still continues, because when you go to level26.com, there's a whole interactive website built by the Lonely Girl 15 guys.
Right.
Miles and Greg. It's a whole after experience.
Yeah, and those guys obviously have got a track record for creating some pretty compelling web experiences.
Pretty great.
So you are taking it to all these different tiers.
Indeed.
So what happens then with the movie? How do you go and then make a movie out of something that's already been made into a movie? You're sort of turning it on its head.
I think when that book sort of goes into the movie Wrightville, I would say either tomorrow, after it launches today, or September, I think what will happen is I'll go and write the entire screenplay, reconceive it, have all the great characters, I'll direct it myself. There'll be a huge budget. And it should be the next kind of like Saw series, but it'll be from level 26.
Yeah, so now obviously you would want to do it yourself if it went
Absolutely,
to that place.
Yeah, no question.
So a lot of people write these books and then they turn them over, but you come from the other side.
No, yeah.
It's you.
I mean, everything here is complete investment by the money that I made on the deal. We put every cent back in the production. I completely own everything in the digital novel. And when it comes to for motion picture and directing, I directed all the bridges inside there also. Did the same thing for a motion picture.
So where did the funding come from the cyber bridges?
Well, I made a deal with Dutton for 3 books. And we took those advances and put them all into the project. We all took no money, except for paying the actors and the labor. And then we launch it, and it's full risk and full reward.
So the innovative element of this is going to get a lot of press. There's going to be a lot of people writing about it. Have you heard of other people starting to do this, or have you been getting feedback from other authors who want to dive in?
Well, I mean, I'm sure it'll get knocked off. It's very complicated, though. And I'm used to getting knocked off from CSI, obviously. There's many CSI ripoff shows since I started.
I think I watch a bunch of them.
Yeah. But the Digi-Novel, I think the one thing that's important is the production value is so high. It's so complicated to write a great book, first and foremost, which is the most important. To shoot 75 minutes of footage at high level is very, very complicated. And to have a whole interactive website that's continually, it's not just a landing page, it's a whole experience. To all work as one, there's a lot of moving parts at a high level. So it'll be hard to knock off at this level, but I also encourage that the genre takes off since I'm the genre creator.
Right. Well, and let's not forget, the book has one of the creepiest bad guys in the printed page. Squeagle is just an evil dude. As far as horror fans, true crime fans, CSI fans, I mean, they're going to find this guy delightfully evil.
I hope so.
But the Steve Dart character too, as the guy who's trailing and basically goes, deep underground and submerges himself in that world, almost getting caught up in it himself, is a really interesting character too. Where did that come from?
Well, the first rule in great drama is to make sure that your villain is better than your protagonist.
Right.
So Steve Dart is a very compelling man. He's been chasing Squeagle for 2 decades. He's an ex-Quantico CSI operative, the best in the business. After his entire family was killed and murdered in the most horrific fashion, he retired. And the second Squeagle reemerged around his town and was threatening his wife, he was kind of pulled back in to try to catch this guy once and for all, because they have a very deep history.
Right.
And it's sort of cat and mouse that starts there.
So you can keep going here. I mean,
for sure.
I assume that you want to keep going.
Indeed.
I won't be level 27, but there's going to be another one.
Level 26 will have 3 books
that
are coming out over the course of the next 2 years. And then we're also talking about 3 more if things work out.
Yeah, so do you ever see something like this? Is this always big screen? You see any variations of this that might ever work on a web series or beyond the cyber bridges?
I think the opportunities are endless. The first thing is it's designed to be a Digi-Novel first and foremost, where you read a little bit and get rewarded by watching a great video, and then have a place to hang out and meet other people who like the same mythology and the website. That's the first philosophy of it.
And there's no cost to go to the website, and there's no cost to participate and talk to other people.
Not at all. There's also what nobody quite knows yet, is after you unlock 26 levels of engagement on the website, you get the rights to enter into the Dark Club, which is all the same footage that you watch, but all more hardcore.
So this is going to take some time here. What are you going to do with your CSI and everything else you have going on? Any other projects?
CSI runs itself. All 3 shows are doing quite well in the top 10, top 15. I'm sort of loosely involved in those shows. This is my next thing. And I'm also developing new television shows and writing a musical and just very, very busy. But publishing has always been a fascination of mine. And I think that, if I'm going to sort of get into publishing myself, I just won't throw my name on a book because I'm a CSI guy. But really try to take the genre and give people a different way to experience a book, which is the Digi-Novel.
Right. And for anybody looking for, the next scariest dude you'll read about, level 26 is definitely there.
Right, thank you.
I wish you all the luck.
Thanks very much.
And may the buzz continue.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Great to meet you.
Thank you.